Even though New Jersey is a small state, it's huge in terms of its importance to the birding community in the United States. We visited New Jersey for the first time to find rare birds and experience everything that the Garden State has to offer. On our first day, we found a rare thick-billed murre. And on day 2, we got up early to fit in as many notable hotspots in one day as we could.
We're up bright and early today. It's 5:42, and we're going to go look for some salt marsh sparrows first, but we have a really cool day planned of hitting a lot of hotspots and looking for a lot of interesting species. Definitely the travel has taken a toll on all of us, and it's been a very early morning. We wanted to get up even earlier, but it is important to get some good rest so you're not too tired. So let's go out and see what we can find.
After a beautiful drive, we arrived at our first stop of the day that just happened to be a wildlife refuge that many consider to be one of the best places in the state for birding. Hey everyone, this is Ryan from Badgerland Birding. Today, me, Derek, and our friend Nathaniel are at a place called Edwin B. Forsythe National Wildlife Refuge in New Jersey, and we're trying to see as many species as we can in this really unique wildlife area. Edwin B. Forsythe National Wildlife Refuge, also referred to as the Brig, is situated right along the Atlantic Ocean and contains many different habitats. While we certainly were excited by the prospect of finding many different kinds of birds, there was one in particular that we wanted to see. Our biggest target here is going to be salt marsh sparrow, which this is going to be a lifer if we can find it for all three of us, but there's a lot of other cool stuff that's been reported here as well, so we're just really excited to get going. We started out by driving an auto loop with plenty of great habitat on both sides, taking in our first looks at the massive salt marsh. First impression of this place, though, is really cool. It's a big flat marshland, which is what you would expect. There's actually the skyline you see in the distance, just tons of noises that are coming from all directions. So I think that it's going to be really fun to explore. I think it's going to be kind of tricky to pull out our target birds because there's a lot of habitat here to look through.
I love it here. I think it's been great so far. I could see how you could spend like an entire day here, but we're trying to get the salt marsh they might be calling in the morning. So our thing is we're just going a little ways, stopping, listening, going a little further down, stopping and listening.
We rolled our windows down and listened to the cacophony of bird noises. It didn't take long for us to hear two interesting species at home in these coastal marshes. Got seaside sparrow, which is not a lifer for Derek or I, but it is a really cool sparrow species. Always nice to see them. I remember how tricky it was when I got my lifer in Louisiana. It just popped up for a second, and even this right now was better looks than that. So really neat species to see. Glad we were able to find it. Hearing a clapper rail or two in there, so that's another new species for Nathaniel. It's a species I've never gotten on camera before. I've just heard. Hopefully one will pop out, but they're notoriously secretive. Eventually, a clapper rail did come into view.
This is just a birder's paradise right now. This is beautiful, beautiful place. I like that it feels kind of secluded, like you don't feel like you're around a ton of people. You can kind of go at your own pace, and there's a lot of cool species to see.
We continued around the drive, going through a more forested area and spotting more birds, including copious amounts of mute swans. After trying everything we could to find a salt marsh sparrow, including getting out and walking, on this day, we came up empty.
So we did not have any salt marsh sparrows here today. Cool place. I feel like it got to a point where it was just so windy and it was later in the day that we felt like our odds weren't very great, so hopefully we can find them somewhere else. I do feel like we birded this place really hard though. Like we checked like all the spots we wanted to check. We listened to all the calls. There wasn't many things that just kind of went disregarded. So I feel like we were pretty thorough with it. I wonder if there's some kind of trick to it, or maybe we have to get here even earlier. So if we come back, we'll hopefully get some more intel, and then we can find the salt marsh sparrow.
Next, we made our way to one of the locations that many would consider to be one of the best in the country during migration. We are now heading south to a part of the state that's usually one of the best and most notable birding locations, and that's Cape May, which is this basically point kind of in the southern part of the state, which is really good for migratory birds. We're not in the full throes of migration yet, but there still should be some cool stuff down there, both coastal species and also species that are going to be living more in the woods. So hopefully this is a really good spot to go. I don't know if we're going to get any lifer type birds here, although we do have a chance for gannet if we go south enough, but hopefully we see some cool migratory species, especially warblers. We made the drive and ended up at Cape May Point State Park. Here, we immediately noticed purple martins, as well as a few other species. We decided to check out the beach, where we found many birds at home along the coast.
Just had a flyover ibis. We're hanging out on the beach, checking out this interesting bunker-looking thing that we found. So curious about that, and then we'll probably hit some of the other areas after this.
Got some laughing gulls on the beach. We did have that flyover ibis. Not seeing any shorebirds yet, but who knows what could come in. Really anything that's along the ocean could just show up, including gannets, different gull species, just different migratory birds. So keeping a lookout at the beach.
A little further down, we got a hot tip on a very cool shorebird.
So we ran into some friends of the program that are actually doing some research out here. So they showed us where some of their oyster catchers are hanging out. So we got to come and look at the pair that is closest to us. We also found some lesser blackback gulls as well.
I just think oyster catchers are some of the coolest birds, and it's really neat to be able to get to see these two up close, in addition to the lesser blackback gulls, which are also really neat species. But just something about the oyster catchers, bright eyes, and then that big orange bill is just super cool to me. So I'm probably going to get a little closer to them and take a nice look at them.
After checking out the oyster catchers, we walked back inland and spotted a few migratory birds, but didn't have any luck finding warblers. We went to a different area within the Cape May region and found a few marsh birds, including coots and blue-winged teals, in addition to more American oyster catchers before moving on to a different location altogether. To end the day, we went to Barnegat Lighthouse State Park.
Hey everybody, we're here at the Barnegat Lighthouse State Park, and hopefully we're able to find some awesome New Jersey species. The photos people have had on eBird are incredibly close of some classic Atlantic coast birds. So we're going to walk right by the lighthouse and hopefully get to see some of those same species.
To get to the best part of the park for birding, we walked through some thick vegetation, and then got our first look at the break wall and beach that would presumably have the best birds. We immediately got to work spotting some gulls.
So we walked out into this beach area. There's herring gulls hanging out, which just look massive, and then a couple blackback gulls out here too. And this is probably some of the better views I've had of these blackback gulls.
Great blackback gulls are actually the largest gull species in the world, and this is one of the few places in the U.S. where you can find them really reliably, and by this I mean the northeastern U.S. So they're not very common in the southeastern U.S., they're definitely not common in the south or the west, but Midwest and then Northeast is where you'll find these birds, and they're really cool, really striking inky blackback.
We moved to the break wall where we quickly got some incredible looks at a northeastern specialty species, the brant.
This is by far the most amazing brant experience that anyone could ever ask for. They are literally just feet away floating around, and there's tons of them. They're so rare in the Midwest, and then out here they're just all over the place on the coast, so I'm loving this right now.
After taking some time to look at the brants, we continued walking, spotting a harlequin duck and some scoters. We made our way back as the sun was setting, giving us a beautiful view of the lighthouse and surrounding area. We even got one more opportunity to see American oyster catchers in some incredible lighting.
You know what they say, when the hour is gold, it's time to be bold.
How's it feel down on the birds level?
Feels nice, I can get right up in his business.
Do you feel like you guys are going to start pecking at mussels and stuff now?
What makes you think I haven't?
After watching the oyster catchers for a while, we called it a day as the light was fading. Before leaving, we took a look at the lighthouse for which the park gets its name.
How would you rate this sunset right now?
Ours is like a 9 sunset, 9.95. I mean, with the lighthouse and the water, I feel like that raises it.
On the way back from Barnegat Lighthouse State Park, we got some authentic East Coast pizza.
So that pizza place, which is Anthony's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria, was awesome because the owner was super cool. He said he's been doing this for 30 years, and he learned from the guy that originally owned it and then bought it from him when he retired. And he was super nice, gave us some extra slices at the end because it was closing time, and it was all around really good first experience with a pizza place in New Jersey, and I thought the pizza was really good.
Go to the lighthouse, then go to Anthony's Italian Restaurant Pizzeria. Do it.
Our second day in New Jersey was absolutely jam-packed with incredible places to go birding and unique East Coast species to match. While we didn't find the salt marsh sparrows we were hoping for, we still had a great time experiencing some of the most well-known hotspots in New Jersey. And our last day in this part of the country would prove to be even more interesting. If you want to see more from the places we went birding in New Jersey, take a look at one of these videos. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.